everyone, Tom here, back with yet another episode of Battle Rap Resume. Today we are looking forward to an absolutely incredible fucking card going down December 1st, the Allstar Game Premier Battles in Manchester. Of course, get a ticket, get the pay-per-view, see these battles any way you can. And, you know, we're also looking back, like, you know, it's been an incredible year or so for Premier Battles as an entity. And at the start of this episode, I was just sort of going through the YouTube channel, making a few crib notes, you know, and Briggzy, like the amount of events, the amount of battles, the amount of moment, the amount of media, the amount of, you know, tryouts, potential storylines, sackings, like Premier Battles, it's been fucking crazy. Like,
it's a bit of an eventful first year, isn't it? It's one of the reasons I didn't go to nil, because I've just had too much battle rap this year.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It has been a long year actually, and there's still a lot to go. You know, with yourself and some Man the Saint and all that other stuff. And Bloodstro as well. Always good to have you on, man.
What's good? Always a pleasure to be on.
Yeah, of course. And you know, so with Premier Battles starting off, I was thinking, I was like, where did it actually kick off? Am I right thinking there was a Twitter that, and people obviously knew you were doing so, but there was a Twitter, and then did the player pack openings come a little bit after that?
Yeah, after it. So we set up the brand. We told everyone we was going to set up a battle league, and then we kind of done everything behind the scenes. So we had all the managers aligned, and then it was like, let's just do something different rather than just say, you know, Koj and Raptor and stuff are going to be battling. Let's make it a bit exciting. So we made people wait for the packs. And then, obviously, me and Shotty are big football, FIFA fans. So we just thought, you know, I love playing Ultimate Team and opening a new pack and getting Ronaldo. Like, I feel like I'm a 12-year-old kid running around again. So we thought, let's just do that with Battle Rap. And, yeah, it was good. It sparked a lot of interest straight off the bat for us, which was good.
And the first match day sold out before it went out?
Yeah, sold out pretty quickly, to be honest.
Like, yeah, I mean, a lot of people saying the reaction to that Bloodstro, like they were talking about the chants, the singing, the battles themselves. Like match day one, low key, like event of 2018.
Good argument for it. I think every battler was on point. I don't think there was hardly any chokes. There was a couple of stumbles, but for what it was, I mean, obviously there was a couple of performances that weren't great, but we had Soul and Matter, which was outstanding. O'Shea's performance against Raptor was outstanding. Like
Joker Star's performance.
Yeah, with Koj. Could have started the year better, to be honest. It was the first event I've seen for a long time, especially with Don't Flop, like where there was a queue around the corner before the doors opened.
Yeah, it was Ruby Lounge, was that?
Ruby Lounge, yeah.
Yeah, which is a kind of Premier Battles like home stadium or some shit, like.
Yeah, it's become our little stadium now.
Yeah, yeah. But one of the things that I noticed when I was looking through the YouTube channel was, because obviously you guys had a different upload method than normal. This is kind of like more of a subscription network-based thing that is obviously still going. So it wasn't like, you know, an event happens and they all get uploaded Saturday by Saturday. Like there was a long gap between Raptor and O'Shea, which was chosen, right? That was like voted to be released.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then anything else, like other events come and go on the YouTube channel, and you guys really stuck to the model for a while.
Yeah, we kind of wanted to still stick with it. The network did exactly what we wanted it to do, so it took off pretty quickly. The only issue we had with the network was the guy who'd set the network up just didn't give us access to what we wanted to, so we couldn't see any stats, we couldn't see what views we were getting, we couldn't see... the only thing we could see was how many minutes had been watched and how many subscribers we had. So we wanted to do a lot of things like, you know, say for example, someone who's been subscribed to the network for 6 months, we was going to give them like free pay-per-views or free tickets to the next event, like award people for being a part of it. And we couldn't do it. And then obviously we've got a lot of sponsors involved with Premier Battles, and we couldn't provide them with certain statistics and stuff, and it was just getting messy to the point where it was like, is it worth being this stubborn at the minute when it's not that ready? The network is where we want to go in the future, but right now I don't think it's ready.
I think you said when it kind of became, you know, how this like glasnost sort of thing, like when you know you sort of opened it up a bit more. You said you sort of reached what you wanted to reach that year.
Yeah, we had, you know, I'll be honest, we had an idea of hitting 500 subscribers within the first year because we know it's a paid service. And when we opened it up to YouTube, we was just over 1,000 subscribers.
Really? I wouldn't have expected that many. I mean, no offense, but that's a lot.
Mate, we didn't, to be honest. I think it was just the excitement, especially off match day one and stuff. And then obviously people couldn't access the footage, so people are seeing, you know, stuff like Matter and Soul was a classic, Raptor and Quill was a classic, and no one could watch them unless you signed up.
Yeah.
So people were doing it, and it was just it was just it did everything we wanted it to do. It's just a shame. I don't think the industry's ready for it either yet. Like, we've got this Unilad documentary that's in production, and when that comes out, people are going to look for Premier Battles, but they might not necessarily sign up to a network because they're just casual fans for now. So we was kind of being stubborn in a way. But like I say, it is where we want to go. It's just not there yet.
But there is still other stuff on the network.
Yeah.
I remember early on, like, floating an idea with you, like a sort of a mastermind, but just about football with teams.
Yeah.
I still think we should maybe do a trial run of that. That could be really fun. But, if you do subscribe to the network, I should say, you do get access to this other stuff that goes down. Bloodstro, the next event, Match Day 2, fair to see some people saw it as a bit of a failure.
Not necessarily.
No.
I think there was still great battles that day. I mean, obviously, then you had a couple people who weren't initially involved in Premier Battles who shown up. So that was when obviously Quill first made his first appearance for Premier Battles. So Jitsu was on the card, Tally was back on the card. Raptor Quill was phenomenal. One of my favourite battles of the year. To be honest, London's a different beast for us. Like, obviously, Northern, obviously Manchester's our home for Premier Battles and stuff like that. But obviously it was nice going to London. But yeah, Manchester's always been the home for Premier Battles, and yeah, we kind of missed it.
Yeah, it was just I guess because I was there myself, and I guess it was just the crowd reaction. The videos that we'd seen were like so good, like crazy out there on Match Day 1. And I guess it's the Londoners, it's in concrete, we've been there loads of times before, it's a bit muted in there as well, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that was one of the things with it as well. Like, there was a lot of events on around the same time. Like, Chalked Out were doing stuff, Cold Red had just done an event, King of the Ronalds were doing things, and I think it was just a right place, not even right place. We wanted to go to London anyway. We had a few venues that fell apart. Like, we had Brixton Jam, which was booked for that event, and that just got pretty. I mean, Brixton Jam sometimes are nightmares to deal with, so it just never went on from there with Brixton Jam. And then we spoke to a venue near West Ham's ground. I forgot what it is. They've hosted Boiler Room a few times. We spoke to them, and then they couldn't accommodate on the same day because they could only give us like 3 hours in the venue, which was pointless. And then because I'd worked on the Launch Codes card with Code Red, Concrete pretty much just said, do you want to use our venue? So it was like, go on then, let's just do it. But yeah, it just felt like the event never picked up. I mean, we sold, I think it was like 180 odd tickets, so we couldn't have done a pit. We had to move it to the stage, which is always a positive in Concrete.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just felt like the event never really got going. And, it's one of them things. I've done Don't Flop events where I thought this is going to bang, and then it's just not been what I thought it was going to be. But then I've done events that I thought were going to be rubbish that I popped.
And, one of the big surprises, one of the great things, I think, about Premier Battles that I love that you guys have done in Premier Battles is the Academy system, which kind of got introduced around this time. So, I mean, and everyone, let's just talk a little bit about the new application. You've ever seen what a great thing it is. Obviously got Major and LSD that we'll preview later in the card. Like, you've got tons of applications, right?
Oh, for the second one, we've got, what did I say to you? I think it's like 58 applications at the minute. Jeez. Which is, and not all of them are, people have battled before. We've got a few names that you'll probably recognise from back in the day that I've tried to get back involved. There's a few people that are still active now but haven't really hit the potential, and there's a few people that have just never battled before. So I'm looking for. I think we need to be a bit more selective with this one. I might change up a few things as well.
Okay, but I mean, how many are you going to whittle it down for the initial battling?
I wanted to go in with the last 16. I wanted to have 2 managers that go through the applications, but I'm thinking, I don't know whether I want to do it. I might do 1 round of qualifiers and just have like, I don't know, how many battles did we have last time? Like 13, wasn't it? Right. And it was like a nice day, just ran clean. So I might do something like that again. And just you've got to test it, haven't you? Because a lot of people who've never battled before, look at Major Concerns, like, none of us expected him to do what he's done. And it'd be stupid for me to go, I'm going to pick the top 16 that I've applied when I'm not taking a gamble on any newcomers. And I think this is the year, especially with people like Raptor, Dialects, P-Soldier, and Wan all stepping out of battle rap, we really need to push on and develop new talent now.
Yeah, and one of the guys that battled early in the academy, but I only saw live recently properly, was Barnier. He's cool, man.
Yeah, he's got good potential. He really has.
Great, he's great for stage presence. He's really good. I'd be interested to see what he does next. Like I say, even people that have left the academy this year that have been knocked out still doesn't necessarily mean he won't get picked up going into this season. So if he had a good performance at nil and stuff, he can still get picked up for this year.
Are you scared that in the future seasons you'll run out of football cliches to name events?
No, just carry on with match. Just carry on with match days, mate.
No, match days is fine, but it's like the firm or away days. Or are they going to be like? Is it going to be like away days too, or how's that going to work?
Yeah, so next year we want to move around a bit more. We're thinking of keeping Premier Battles in Manchester, and then the Division 2 will be like the travelling league.
Okay.
People seem to get we'll talk about this a bit later on, but people seem to get a bit misconstrued what Division 2 is going to be. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be worse talent. We essentially want to have 25 of the best battlers in the Premier Division, but if we get 25 high to mid tiers to low top tiers, then perfect. That's what we want. We want people to aspire to get into this. The academy is for people who are up and coming.
And how was the firm then, the third event back in Manchester after the London one?
The atmosphere, I've seen a few people saying the event was dead, but I thought the atmosphere was banging on that event. Raptor and Villain, Dialects and Chris Lees, Cole J and Quill, were mad.
Yeah.
The only thing with that event, that was when we started having a few issues, like Yunnan backed out. Who else? There was a couple of backouts on that event, I think.
Yeah, Yunnan backed out.
A didn't show up.
I know Tally didn't get there till very late.
Yeah, Tally literally got there.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, Tally got there as we were closing the doors, pretty much. But yeah, it was a good event. It was nice to be back in Manchester. I mean, not taking nothing away from the London event, it was nice to be back where the crowd were getting involved. They were singing the songs. Even it wasn't as busy as match day 1, but there was probably still 250 there, maybe. And they got involved. You can see it on the footage. The atmosphere is quite good. Raptor brings in a fucking hen party.
Right.
In the middle of that's the first person who ever had to kick out Premier Battles.
That was special.
And it's crazy with Premier Battles that you leapt into this new league and you didn't just do a few mega events here and there and maybe one try. You did the tryout league, did the main league, you did going overseas for the England versus Ireland event as well. Tireless.
Yeah, we had South Africa lined up as well, but Gino, who runs Scrambles for Money, had a few personal things going on, so he's just kind of took himself away from Battle Rap, which is a shame. Something we want to do next year, but it was good to test the waters. I think the Irish scene's sick. I'd been booked to go over there and battle, which I never got round to do, so it was something I was always kind of like, it was on my bucket list to do. I wasn't even meant to be battling, to be honest. We put it all together, and then Rory just said, while you're there, will you do a battle for us? And I was like, yeah, go on then. Fucking worst mistake I've ever done. But yeah, it was good. It was good to bring our platform to an international audience with the Irish, because a lot of them had, no disrespect to a lot of the Irish leagues, they haven't seen events of certain magnitude.
Sure.
And it was just good to bring that over there. I think next time if we go and do it, I'd like to make it a bit bigger. I'd like to go over and scout the venues myself. I think the venue was the wrong place for it, but it was all a learning curve. It was a great event. I think everyone just ended up getting in for free and getting drunk. So, it was good.
Bloodstro, how was match day 4?
Match day 4 was great. Just touching on the Ireland one, the thing that was crazy for me was the fact that they were still doing the Premier Battles chant there, which was, it took me back a bit. Stood on stage, I was like, Jesus Christ. Obviously, because we linked up with obviously Rap Is Full and stuff like that, but yet he was still showing love to PB, which is crazy. But now, match day 4, I love that event. Apart from match day 1, I think that might be one of my favourite events that we've done this year.
Yeah, O'Shea versus Koj, crazy.
Yeah, obviously we had Lou Cypher and Villain, which was phenomenal. Archaic and Dialect, which is a battle that should have happened years ago and didn't.
People are contesting that decision.
Yeah, this is the good thing about it. And then obviously you had Jay Short making his Premier Battles debut, stepping in and obviously battling one, which for me was a great battle. But yeah, O'Shea Koj, I've watched that easily 5-6 times and it's still hilarious. Just the fact that he had his auntie there, and there's so many different things that play into it, which just makes it phenomenal. But yeah, it's a great battle.
I think that's part of it as well, Tom. People contested Yunnan versus Rivers, Dialect Chris Lees, Dialect Archaic, Raptor and Quill. Like, what people fail to understand is people go, oh, you know, it was the wrong decision from Premier Battles, but there's a reason it's being debated. Like, we're putting top battlers against top battlers. Not every battle's going to be a 3-0 body bag. Like, it's good for us as a league to have debatables, and that's what we're in this for. Because otherwise, I think for me personally, that's why battle rap was getting stale, because no one was trying to win. Now, on this format, I'm not just saying it because it's my format, but it feels like everyone is trying to win every battle now. So it's, you know, the battles are harder to judge, and there's nothing better for us as a company to have people arguing in the comments, because it just drives the views up. So
yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, obviously go subscribe to their channel. All the Matchday 4 battles are out. That's kind of on the timeline where we are now on the YouTube channel. Sort of pretty much ends there. I like that you guys have done, though, the top 10 punchlines from Matchday 2, Matt. This is good to capitalise on these sort of vids.
Yeah, mate, we've had them on a list to do for ages, and just the other night I had nothing to do, so I just watched Matchday. I was going to do Matchday 1, but I didn't have the hard drive of it on. Right. But it was nice to go back and just watch the old battle. It sounds mad saying old battles. That's how many battles I've watched this year. But yeah, it was just nice to watch through them again, like especially that event, because my team weren't battling, so I just got to take it in as much as a fan as I could, even though I was running the event. But yeah, looking forward to doing the rest. Got Matchday. I'm going to do Matchday 1 next. Might do Academy 1 as well.
Yeah.
Just keep turning them out. It's just a bit of fun, isn't it?
Yeah. There's so much quality to pick from on each event. Matchday 5, we've obviously got to talk about. Which has been, you know, a bit of a dark, you know, a bit of a touchy subject for some fans, really. I've seen the footage, because obviously I do the commentary and stuff like that, and, you know, Raptor versus Koj. It's disappointing.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that's the best word for it, mate. You know, I've said this a few times to people. Like, I know a lot of the blame got put onto the Raptor and Koj battle. From my perspective, the whole event was mad. Like, there was just a weird atmosphere all day. Just couldn't seem to put our finger on it. Like, me and Shotty and Bloodstro turned up to the venue early, dressed it all proper excited, went out, bought confetti cannons for, you know, the trophy being lifted and everything. Just got the venue ready, and then I think it was like before the first battle even started, we were just having issues with someone lit a spliff backstage, and the venue nearly got shut down from that, and then fucking fighter choked out a fan outside, and the police got called, and then it was just mayhem, mate. Like, the event was just absolute mayhem. There was a big train strike on the day, so Wan, Peace Soldier, Zen all couldn't get trains. Yeah, I think it just got to boiling point with the event, and then it started to kick off a little bit with Wan and Chris Lees, mainly people behind him. And then I think it's unfortunate that Raptor and Koj was the tipping point of it. If I could go back and have put that battle in the middle of the day, I don't think we'd have got anything like that. But, you know, it is what it is. We've done 10 events this year, 11 events, and we've had one issue, so we can't really complain about it. It's just a bit of a letdown how it was, that battle, and how it turned out at the last minute of the year.
Yeah, it is just before the whistle. It's it's pretty apt. But I mean, what about it getting uploaded? Are people going to see this unvarnished, or?
Oh yeah, it's coming out.
Yeah.
Raptor and Koj will be out. I think it'll be on the network Saturday, and then it'll be out in a couple of weeks on YouTube.
Yeah, well, there we go. Yeah, I'm sure if you listen to this in the near future, subscribe again to the channel and check it out. So I want to focus on the current now. We're building up, as I say, to the 1st of December in the Ruby Lounge. I know there are tickets still available, but I'm guessing there's not many.
No, there's about 106 tickets or something left.
I mean, I got to just say, honestly, this card is fucking unbelievable. Like, thank you, like, genuinely, like, as a fan, to be able to witness all of these battles in one. Like, this is a genre-leading card here. This is something that people will remember forever. I think seeing this stack of battles with Soul and Ilmac on the top, man, you've outdone yourself.
Oh, I appreciate it, man. It's been a graft, like Bloodstro will tell you. It's been an absolute graft getting, like, the amount of names we've thrown back and forward. Like, this card has changed so many times over the course of this year. Chris Lees and Caustic was locked in like 20 minutes before we dropped the card.
Yeah.
Because the thing is with us as well, we can't just pick battlers. We have to see how the season plays out. Because it's the Allstar game. We can't just go, let's just give Raptor, Dialect, Bobby, and like, people you would see on a birthday card at Don't Flop, if they've not performed all season or people have earned the place, we have to we have to reward that. We said that from the start of the season, that it doesn't matter if you're a Quill or if you're an A. If A outshines everyone else on the card, A represents the company at the All-Star Game. So it was a bit of an issue that we couldn't do that until the end. I mean, don't get me wrong, Sol and Immaculate was guaranteed to happen.
Yeah.
We'd planned that for ages, and we knew Sol was never going to let us down when he got the chance to step on stage at Premier Battles. 2 great performances this year with Bobby Rex and Matto. So he's earned the place, and Ilmac said he wanted to come over and there was no one better to give him. The rest of the card kind of fell into place. I mean, we spoke to everyone, mate. Disaster was in at one point. Sue Surf was in at one point, and then he got shot. Yeah, so we spoke to Sue Surf. B Magic was in, but he didn't have a passport. Didn't realise he had to have a passport.
Fucking 2018, B Magic. Like, you're one of the best ever. Like,
so we'd spoke to everybody.
B Dot.
Yeah, B Dot wanted to come over.
Shit.
Yeah, he had something else. But Nestle was coming over, but he's got an event on the same day. The thing was competing with as well is obviously the King of the Decade card, and this is an event they all want to be on as well. So
of course, on the same day, right?
Yeah, same day, yeah. So we've been quite lucky in some senses to get the names that we have got, because I'm assuming a lot of them would have been on Decade.
Yeah, no, absolutely, yeah. All of these are gets. But Bloodstro, Major Concerns versus LS Dean. Do you have a winner?
Right, so here's my take on it. So when, obviously, because we've been doing the Academy series and we've been filming like the little documentary leading up to it and stuff like that with the different episodes, you'll see in, I think it might be the last one, we all did our picks after the first qualifier, and I picked Major Concerns that I thought would go on and win it. Now, for me, LS Dean's one of them where he's been about the scene for a while, but he's never really hit his ceiling. He's never really hit the potential. And I think a lot of credit goes to Tox, as much as I hate saying it, because his ego will probably get out of control. But what he's done with LS Dean and his performances have got a lot better. No homo, but he has rubbed off on him. Like, he really has. And for me, it's a tough one. It's just, everyone's got Major Concerns edging it, but you can't write off LS Dean. It's a tough battle to call. It really is.
You can't say everyone's got Major Concerns, wouldn't it?
No, it's most people.
Ah.
I mean, Briggsy, you got LS Dean?
I don't know.
See, I've gone back and forth with it a lot.
I'll be honest, me and Tox had a conversation before the final, so this was the semi-final times. Tox messaged me and he was like, if you get to pick the person who wins the Academy to join Pride, take LS Dean. And I was like, this is before I'd seen the DARPA battle. And I was like, I'm not going to pick anyone yet. Obviously, the winner gets to decide where they go. Hopefully the winner gets to choose Pride. But if not, I'll look at anyone. And for me, LS Dean has been one of the standout. I don't think he's had a weak battle. Even when he battled Jay Shorten it was like a day before. He'd come into battle. He was meant to battle Pharaoh, I think, or Raw Talent or someone, and they didn't show up. And he'd already had bars rolled the night before. He spat him outside, and he was like, "Fuck it, I'll do a freestyle battle with Jay Short," and it was a good battle. And then he's turned up every event, and I think LS Dean is a better performer. Major's a better writer. And I think it's going to come down it's right through the middle with these two. If Major can up his performance, it can take LS Dean. If LS Dean has them haymakers, he can take Major Concerns. I actually don't know. This is one of them battles that I don't know who's going to win.
Yeah, it's a great pairing for the final. I personally got Major edging it, I think, just on his sort of visceral aggression in that room, in that moment. I don't know, but LS Dean, as you say, is completely surprising and disarming. Yeah, and this is going to be a very cool final. Someone's versing O'Shea. I know you guys can't give that away.
Yeah, someone's versing O'Shea.
Has someone guessed it yet? Is it? I know you can't give it away, but like,
no one's even close, mate.
Wow. Shit.
It's their debut in UK Battle Rap.
Okay.
So yeah, I can't say too much on it because I just want it to be announced, but it's going to be something special. I'll say that. And we can't do an event without O'Shea as well.
Oh my, yeah. I mean, and he deserves to be there. You know, he's definitely one of the All-Stars.
Yeah, there's a few of them, mate. Matter was very close to getting in.
Okay.
One would have been in the All-Star game, but he's removed himself from it because he's got studies.
Yeah.
I think it came down to Matter and Chris Lees, and when we was just looking over the performances, I think Chris Lees has just kind of been he's been solid all season. I know Matter's been solid as well. It was just a weird toss-up between us. I think we voted between us, didn't we? And I think it ended up like 3-2 Chris Lees.
Right.
But that's what we want. Unfortunately, we can only have 5 people that represent the All-Star team, and we've got 25 battlers. And when you look at people that haven't made it, like, you know, names like Bobby Rex, names like Raptor.
That's who everyone expected to be on there, just because it was us as well. So it's nice to have an All-Star card without him.
It is, yeah. Without Briggzy.
Yeah, mate, who says I'm not battling O'Shea?
Let's go. Well, the rules, but yeah, no, I can see that. Rivers versus Big Cannon. This is such an awesome matchup.
Yeah, this is crazy. I'm just glad to have Big Cannon over as well. Rivers, we went back and forward with Rivers with a few people. Who do we have for Rivers? We had a few. Rivers and Nestle was locked in at one point.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the Big Cannon was always on our list to get over, and then I think it was Bloodstro actually. Bloodstro said, "What about Rivers?" So just sent it to Rivers, and Rivers like 100% down for that. I think that'll be a great battle. Both can do the human, and both can mix in with like punchline and street shit. So I think that'll be a real fucking battle, that one.
I think that'll be the best Rivers you'll see as well.
Yeah, it's his biggest opponent by far, and yeah, Big Cannon is an absolute hero. Like, I'm in awe of Big Cannon. Watched him versus Craig Lamar recently. I'm so excited to see him live as well, because especially on UK soil, you know, he's delivered pretty much consistency.
Yeah, him versus Raptor was incredible.
Oh my god, so good.
I think the thing is as well, I've been very impressed with Rivers this year. Like, for me, if Cole J didn't win Battle of the Year, it would have been Rivers for me. I think Rivers had a strong case to argue even Cole J winning, and that's not taking nothing away from Cole J's win. When we just looked at, like, sort of, you know, the level of opponents they've gone against and what they've come out with, Cole J's had 2 performances in the night back to back. So I think he was about to have his 3rd against Raptor. And, you know, from the way they started against Joker Star to where they ended up. But Rivers, for me, has been... I would happily push Rivers as the face of Premier Battles next year. But, you know, amongst a bunch of other battlers, like, he's really stood out. He's never gave a weak performance. But he's beat some good names. Like, I thought he beat Yunnan. Mm-hmm. He's beat Frankie. Who else did he beat? Frankie. He's beat Joker Star. Yeah. Joker Star was having a crazy performance as well. Yeah, but I'm glad Rivers has made it. I think a lot of people just assumed we wasn't going to give Rivers the play, but he deserved it.
Yeah, no, it's fair's fair, and yeah, he has been outstanding in his role for sure. Chris Lees versus Caustic. You said it was locked just before the card dropped, and this is an awesome one there before the coup de grace.
Yeah, it was originally Chris Lees versus Dundee. And obviously Dundee's backed out the event because he's got a lot of personal stuff going on. And this was the only other one that made sense. We was all in the same chat and we was like, who the fuck do you give Chris Lees? Because his style is so unorthodox. And I think like everyone at the same time was just like, Caustic, has to be Caustic. But yeah, Caustic, to be fair to Caustic, he's been on our case for a bit to come over. He nearly came over, I think when Yunnan dropped out against Tally, who was going to bring Caustic over as a loan.
Yeah, he threw his name in the hat and wanted to come over.
But it just didn't make sense financially at the time, so it was like, let's just save Caustic. But Caustic's been one of the big supporters of Premier Battles. Like, he's always been impressed, always inboxing the Twitter page and stuff, so it's retweeting things, so it's nice to have him over as well. And it's good to have Caustic back.
Yeah, definitely. Mr. 13 battle, one of the most glaring carriages of misjustice there. I think Caustic definitely won that battle, and I think it's one of the most downvoted Don't Flop battles. Shout out to Mr. 13, but still a bit of a crime there. Dialect versus Loso. Bloodstro, who wins this? I'm just going to say who wins it for you.
Crazy. I can't wait for this battle. I've been a huge fan of Loso for a long time. I was just saying to Briggzy before we came on, I must have watched Loso and B-Dot for the 15th, 16th time the other night. Obviously just going through all the stuff, but Yeah, I mean, I think it's a great way unfortunately, for Dialect to step out of battling. Big card, solo Mackers as the headline, Loso, great opponent. I can't wait for the angles. This is going to be crazy. This, for me, is a real contender for Battle of the Night.
And, Dialect utterly deserves this. This is such a good look for him. And he's been one of the backbones of Premier Battles, along with your Matters and your Chris Leases, etc., and your Rivers. Those guys that have really carried the league as it's gone from strength to strength.
Yeah, no, 100%. And the main thing for me was, obviously, we spoke about match day 5, and obviously the stuff that happened there was backstage. Like, I'll be honest, I was gutted. I was fuming. Like, obviously, because we've all sacrificed a lot of time for it and stuff like that. And Dialect was one of the first people to come over alongside Peace Soldier. Was just like, yo, it's good. All-Star Game. We'll bounce back. And it's just like, yeah, he's deserved it. He's put on great performances. Him and Chris Lee's great battle. So yeah, I can't wait for this battle.
Yeah, and Briggzy, so crazy to have Loso over here for the first time.
Oh, mate, yeah. Loso was one of the first names we... I think we locked Soul and Ilmac first. And then
Loso.
And then Loso, or Mike P first, sorry. Then Loso. I think it was actually Shotty who locked it. Loso messaged us and was like, look, seeing what he's doing, I want to come over. And I'll be honest, I'd not seen a lot of Loso before. So when Shotty said it, I was like, I don't know who this guy is, mate. Like, send me some links. And straight off, I watched the B-Dot battle first. Then I watched, I think did he battle Daylight?
Yeah, he did battle Daylight, on RBE.
Yeah, I think that came out like a day after we confirmed the booking. I was like, you're like fucking well played on picking the fire.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm looking for, like, I'm a fan now. Like, I watch pretty much all these battles. Like, I think he brings something different. I think him and Dialect's an interesting matchup. Dialects, we offered Big Cannon first for Dialects because he was meant to do it on
Code Red, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Code Red, because there was a bit of a medical round, so Code Red had that battle locked in at first. We originally had we offered Real Deal because Real Deal was on the All-Star Game. We offered him Quill, and
right.
Quill turned it down and then accepted it on Code Red. But yeah, it was funny to see, and then obviously a week later we was offering Big Cannon and Dialect, so it kind of worked out nicely. But
yeah,
I think Dialect Loso's a much better battle. It makes sense for the both styles as well. I think it's a nice battle, as Bloodstro said, for Dialect to go out on. And it's a nice way to introduce Loso to a UK audience. I think he'll transition sick over there.
Yeah. And as we build up to the penultimate battles on the card, of course, you can buy your tickets Saturday, 1st of December, Ruby Lounge. We'll put the links down below. And for all the people on the live stream as well, any questions you have for Briggzy or Bloodstro about Premier Battles or anything else, let us know in the chat and we'll get to them. So, Koj versus Mike P. I mean, Koj is one of those battlers that I completely adore. I'm a giant fan of this guy. I think his ceiling is infinite and he's just one of the most exciting performers and battlers, and so much of his performance I love. Giving him such a huge challenge here in Mike P, one of the most celebrated stars in modern times of URL. This is something else.
I think it's deserved. I mean, let's look at Koj this year. He's battled Joker Star, which everyone said he should have won, and then he choked and he fucked it all up. He said he was going to quit battling. Then he bounced back and beat Quill, beat O'Shea, and it looked like he was on the verge of beating Raptor. Might just be saying that because I'm pride. But I felt like he was taking it, and they're three really big opponents, and each of them opponents at the start of the year, if you would have said Koj, mate, I remember announcing Koj versus Quill, and the amount of people that were saying, "What the fuck is that about?" Like 3-0, body bar's going to kill him. I've seen people saying it's going to be like 5-0, he's going to win the coin flip. And Koj, I've always been a big fan of Koj. Like one of the reasons when I battled Koj was, before all the history happened with me and Koj anyway, I said to Rowan, like, I want to challenge myself against him. He's good. I've always been a big fan of his punchlines, his aggression, and I think Mike P mirrors that. I think the only other battle that would have made sense for Mike P would have been Raptor. If Raptor would have had a better year Raptor's lost big battles this year, but his opponents have been the same levels of Koj's. He's just unfortunately on the wrong end of them. And when we locked Mike P, we was like, it has to be Cole J or Raptor this, and then Raptor took a couple L's, and then luckily for us, Cole J just picked up fire.
Yeah.
I don't really know who else I would have put him against, because I think these two will be in each other's faces, which I want to see. I think this will be battle of the night for me.
Yeah, I agree. I'm really, really fucking looking forward to this one. Bloodstro, what do you think about Mike P?
Crazy. I've been a fan. I was saying this to him the other day. Like, I didn't catch on to when he first came up, or first came out on URL and stuff like that. I think I must have caught wind on his Av battle, and then I just caught up from there, and it's just, yeah.
He reminds me of Jonai. Like, I was genuinely excited when Jonai first came out, and when Mike P first came out, I had that same level of excitement.
Yeah.
Mate, if I could have booked Jonai and Mike P on this card, I'd have just retired from Battle Rap. That's my card.
Yeah, and we, finished with Soul versus Ilmac, which is a giant fucking battle. Obviously, before this battle, I think about 3 weeks before, so about a week in our time, Soul's facing Gemini, Summer Madness 8. But, we don't really need to ponder on that, because Soul has shown with Matter and Tony that he can take giant matchups back to back.
Yeah, let's talk about it for a second now.
Yeah, I think it's great. I mean, we tried locking this battle in for match day 2. Didn't happen. But that's not, like I say, that I don't want to start off by saying that's negative. It's just a battle we wanted. It didn't happen, and I'm just glad it is happening. So, obviously as a league owner, I'd love it to be on Premier Battles, but it's not. And I think Summer Madness 8 is, let's be honest, it's the perfect card. It's the perfect card for it. I would have liked to have seen it out of London. That's just take it like I think it needs to be.
URL were never going to go outside the capital, though, were they?
No, of course. I just think this battle needed to be on neutral ground between them both.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, as I say, as a fan, I'm fanboying the fuck out. To be fair, we knew about this battle quite a bit ago, and Soul knew the Immaculate battle was, I don't know, probably 3 or 4 months ago. And obviously he's been writing for that. He's not, it got announced today. It's not like they've started writing today. They've got 3 rounds of material already done. So I don't think it's going to be a big issue. You battled Tom, you'll know yourself. The second you get your material out, it goes on the back burner. You never think of it again.
Yeah.
So
often at the very time that you're doing it, that happens. So yeah.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Soul will have his material for Gemini. We're talking about Soul here. Like, Soul is one of the very few battlers who can battle. Well, he battled Matter and the week after, then battled Tony Daylight, and he gave flawless performances on both.
Yeah,
he's a beast.
He is a beast. I mean, are either you guys going to Summer Madness 8 or?
Oh no, I wish I was. I can't say certain things because people always assume that he's hating for me, but I just can't justify paying ticket price like that when I've got 2 kids. It's coming up to Christmas, and not only that, going down to London's a train, hotel, drinks when you're there. It's gonna be like a £200 day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and I fucking hate battle rap at the minute.
But for everyone listening, do try and go. Obviously, pick up the pay-per-view as well. That's going to be live, and it's going to be crazy out there. Definitely good to see all those battlers. I'll be there myself, shooting some interviews. But yeah, Soul versus Ilmac then as the final battle. Briggzy again. This is, it's not Soul Gemini, but it's one of the most requested matchups, I think, in battle rap.
Yeah, it's not a bad matchup, I suppose.
No,
no, this is a battle that's been requested, not just by the UK.
We've seen it on Ruin Your Day as well.
Yeah, Ruin Your Day talk about it. I've seen. I mean, when we announced this, most of the battle community that know who Soul is reacted like mad. Twitter went mental, and that's what we want to see. Like, we knew what this was going into this battle. We tried hard to lock this for a long time. Finally, we got it confirmed. It was a lot of back and forth for a week just to get this locked in. The good thing for us is they both wanted to do it. Ilmac really wanted to do it, and Soul's been talking about doing this battle for a couple of years. So I'm just glad, we will manage to do it. Like, I'm worried with this matchup in the sense of, like, I don't know how much I can get me hopes up for it. because I know it's going to be insane, and I want to be excited on the day and not burn myself out before it.
And one of the things you've always been saying, Premier Battles has been saying, Sarcasm City has been saying, everyone involved with the company has been saying, the All-Star Game. Wait to get to the All-Star Game. This is incredible. The things we've got booked are incredible. And, they completely are. Like, it absolutely lived up to expectations here with Soul Lil Mac at the top and the rest of the card. I urge everyone again to pick up a ticket, go to the pay-per-view. Like, so when does Season 2 start of Premier Battles? Like, next year, early 2019, or?
Yeah, February probably. Probably the same as we're doing now. We've got 2 divisions next year, which is going to be an absolute headfuck. But we want to experiment with it next year. Like, I'm happy with how year 1's gone. I think we can do a few things to change up next year. I mean, I don't know how people are going to react to it, but it's not nothing guaranteed yet. But I really want to go back to small room battles. I want to do a year of like. Like the old PGs when you had like Jonah and Prep and like,
oh yeah,
them proper 50 people in a crowd. This is where bars matter. Like, I want to start finding new talent like that. I think the thing with the stage is really good because when we set Premier Battles up, the angle was to have a backstage area and make battlers become the superstars at these events because that's what this should be. The people are paying tickets to watch these. I can't go to a 50 Cent concert and just go and chill with 50 Cent. Like, I wanted to bring that back to it, bring a bit of mystique to battlers again, like make people want to fight to get photographs with a Bobby Rex or something. And I think we kind of did that a little bit at the events. And then, obviously, a few things happen here and there, let's change it. But I think the stage is a nice thing to do for big events, but I would love to go back just for 1 year and make proper, like, I don't really know how to explain it. I
think that's what made the academy so great.
Yeah.
Was, especially for the likes of Major Concerns, and he'll tell you himself, was to have his first battle in that kind of setting where you've got to fight for the reactions, and that's what battling first was. So like I've said this to you on your channel before, Tom, when me and Briggzy first started, it was in the Zombie Shack at Don't Flop, and you had to fight for your reactions and stuff like that, and I think that's one of the reasons why I love the Academy series so much, was because it's small, intimate setting, not many people in the crowd, great atmosphere. So, I mean, I completely agree. I won't mind doing it. It's just whether, obviously, the fans would like it or not, because obviously, as you can imagine, on the back of the Allstar Game and stuff like that, a lot of fans will want to be at the events, but yeah, you can't beat small room battles.
It's where do we go as well? Like, when you look at the way the scene is going to be in 2019, this is something I've spent a lot on this year. Like I say, Dialect's gone, Raptor's finished now. I know these people say they always quit, but from genuine conversations I've had with them, like, they are done. Peace Soldier's finished. Wan's leaving to do his studies for a year. That's a lot of like the top tier big view pullers are now gone. Like, they are stepping out of battle rap to do, and rightly so, because a lot of them are really sick artists. Like Dialect, for example, should be making music. Raptor as well. Raptor should be making music, and this is what they want to go and do. With that, whether they come back to battling at some point, I feel like the scene for so long has made battlers stay involved because the scene's dying, and it was at one point. And I think with things like the Academy, I know Don't Flop have just done their big tryout event. If they pull 2 little jewels out of that, brilliant. They'll have just done a full undercard, giving people like Barnier another go, bringing over people like Hades. And I think next year, 2019, it's something every league needs to look at, developing new talent. We need to make superstars again. And I think that could be one way we can do it with Premier Battles, is going back to small rooms, making people show the talent, show the worth, and then at the end of the year, we do a big glitz and glamour All-Star Game, all the stages, the microphones and stuff. But it's just, do we do that? Because it is going to be a sacrifice. Like, we're not going to sell tickets that many. So everyone has to look at that. The scene isn't what Don't Flop was 5 years ago when you could charge X amount of money for a battle. There's a lot weighing it up. But, hopefully All-Star Game sparks a bit of interest. We've got the Unilad documentary coming out pretty much straight after it in the new year. And we can hopefully build a new scene again, mate.
I'm excited for that documentary. What is that? Is that like just a day in the life, or?
No, so it's been filming all year. So the idea was when we did match day 1, the old CEO of Unilad came and watched the event. I didn't know he was there until like halfway through. People think it's because I worked at Unilad, but I'd only been there like a week or something. So when I came off stage at the end of the event, he was outside and he was just like, that was incredible. It was nothing like I expected it to be. A lot of people just assume 8 Mile, you know what I mean? Like a load of kids in trackies, and it's nothing like that. So just had a few conversations with him, and one of them was like, we should look at it, we should cover it. It's a weird little niche what we have going on. So it's a part of a series which looks at like huge subcultures around the world and why they're so big but might not be known about. And one full episode is based on battle rap, which is they followed from match day. I think they've done match day 3, 4, and 5. They've got some academy footage.
Right.
They're going to do the Allstar Game, and then the documentary will be out next year.
Awesome. Yeah, I didn't realise it was going to be that thorough. That's really cool. So yeah, I mean, how do people finally get at you, individually, and I guess Premier Battles in general?
Premier Battles, premierbattles.club. Let's say All-Star tickets. This is one thing I need to keep banging about, Tom, as well, so I don't do it on your podcast.
No, please.
There is no guest list unless you're staff or battlers. Obviously yourself, Tom, you can come in.
Thank you.
But yeah, we've give so many free tickets out this year to other battlers that are not involved in Premier Battles and friends and stuff. Like, this is the one event we really need support on. If we're going to carry it on, like, going into Premier Battles next year, we don't want to be scrimping and saving to do things like this. Is where we really kickstart Premier Battles. The first year is like the pilot episode. We've done what we wanted to do, and the ideas we've got going into next year are big. We've had to downgrade the venue from 800 because it fell through on the last minute, so we've gone back to Ruby Lounge, which is kind of nice because it's the last event they'll do before they shut down. Okay. So it's kind of like a full circle for us. But it just means we can't afford to have a big guest list like we always do. So yeah, come down, support. Tickets are £25, I think now. Pay-per-view will be on sale. So if it's on sale now, but the link's not anywhere. Yeah, ProBattles.club, 16 years old and plus. Just fucking come down, innit?
Is Shotty still involved with Premier Battles?
Yeah, he's just come back from Manchester and he's been on tour. He was at match day 5.
Because I just saw him going crazy on Twitter, I think, a little while ago, sort of dismissing it all, and I was like, is this real? Or?
No, yeah, Shotty was... I think match day 5 really got to Shotty.
Yeah.
The thing is, what people have to remember is, I know people always say, oh, Shotty Horror, the battle rapper and stuff, like, Shotty signed to Sony now, he doesn't need this. And whatever little like I say, he's just come back from a 3-week tour today, and the first thing he's done is had a phone call with me about Premier Battles. Like, whatever free time he gets, he's putting into this. And, me and Shotty have both made financial inputs into this league without taking anything back. So when we worked for a full year for one moment where we was going to celebrate the year as full, lifting the title, we had fucking loads of like pyrotechnics and confetti cannons and shit. So like, we was going to make a big thing of it, and it ended how it ended. It was just like, we both watched. I've got footage there. I might even send it to you. Like, you can watch it. Someone's interviewed me and Shotty straight after the event.
Okay.
And we're both just stood there like, was it all worth it? Like, was the whole year worth it because of that? That 1 minute of madness was just downheartening. Obviously, we're all emotional. We're battle rappers, aren't we? We love a good cry. But yeah, I think Shotty will always be involved with battle rap. It's what boosted him up in his career. But when you put so much into it and things happen, like, you just kind of go, fuck it. Yeah. But yeah, we'll see from next year, mate.
I appreciate that. Yeah, so again, we've said the description many times, but please go to this event. We'll put all the links down below. Support Premier Battles in any way you can. Battle Rap Resume as well. Patreon, iTunes, support us any way you can. Please subscribe on there, Twitter and all that sort of stuff. But Briggzy Bloodstro, so good to have you guys on. Thanks again.
Nice one for having us, mate. Pleasure as always.